Thank you.
Grammy nominations, opening for U2, traveling all over the world. Just an amazing whirlwind, I can imagine. So not only was it a fantastic year, but it was probably one of the most difficult and trying years for you. So what are some of the ups and downs that come along with success? Let's talk about those.
It was certainly a year where lots of things went very right for us. You know, all the things you list, especially, you know, touring with U2 and playing at Live 8. And just all the kind of perks that come with being a successful and popular band, you know, are great. But also, you know, the way that you kind of deal with that success, and then also the way you deal with the kind of the problems that you inevitably still have as human beings and people, was something that we didn't do very well. You know, we didn't learn to kind of enjoy ourselves together, but we also didn't talk about the things that were kind of niggling us and getting to us, and you know, not just about being friends and the problems we were having being friends, but also just kind of living in this day and age and being a part of our generation and living in a kind of uncertain world. Those are things that we weren't really kind of, you know, talking about and thinking about. So we had to try and find a way of kind of solving that. Otherwise, I think we'd have lost our friendship, we'd have lost the band, we'd have lost so much stuff that means everything to us. So what we did was we got in the studio and we made a record, and we talked about all those things that were pent up inside us, tried to make sense of them and ask those questions. You know, and as a result, I think we come back feeling stronger, and we have a record that we're incredibly proud of and excited by. So although things were great and then they were difficult, they're now you know, even more exciting than they ever were. So we're very happy again.
We're very happy too, because the album is fantastic. Now, how this time around are you going to just soak it in? Now that you've learned, how are you going to just take everything step by step and just enjoy it all?
That's a very good question. I don't know. You know, like you say, we've learned a lot of lessons, and I don't know. I think a lot of it is in the mind, really, isn't it? It's a lot about how you approach things. You know, you can look at everything and say, "Oh, it's all getting on top of us, isn't it? You know, aren't we busy? Isn't it all hard work?" Or you can say, you know, isn't this crazy? You know, it's the three of us against the world, like a gang of old friends going on this amazing adventure. And so you just got to approach it in the right way. Just
appreciate it all, right?
Exactly.
Now, one of the songs on the album, Hamburg Song, let's talk about that, because is it true that you wrote that for Tom?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, that's what we kind of do as a band. We try and articulate all the most sort of painful things that we feel and the things that are most awkward to talk about. We try and put them into our music. So it's you know, it's not easy to say those things, but it's it makes for a much more powerful record, I think.
Was it hard initially to show him the lyrics? Because it's such a personal thing. Like, it's hard for guys to talk in general, but then to open up and say, "Okay, here's a song I wrote about you. It's not romantic, but here it is about our relationship."
Yeah, well, not only are we cursed with being guys, but we're also cursed with being British, so, you know, it's doubly difficult to actually say anything.
But it worked. You got it out, right?
It does, and, you know, people say to me, you know, they ask me the question, how is it singing that song, you know, which is a song very much directed at you, you know, how do you sing it? Well, in a way, it has even more kind of power and meaning for me to be able to sing it. You know, it's a kind of good reminder not to let my ego kind of run away with me and sort of take me away from the things that I know and love, which are these guys and the band and making music. You know, and it also just means a lot to be able to sing that back to Tim, and you know, to feel like that song has kind of helped us to work through some of the difficulties that we may have had in the past.
Mm-hmm. And it shows how much you care about each other and the bond that the band has. Aww. There's so much love in between Keane, right?